Hi friends, welcome to Zeus online classes. In this episode, we are going to continue with the first chapter number system from 9th standard. In the previous section, we have seen that a real number is either rational or irrational. That is, a real number has a decimal expansion. Now here, we are going to check how to locate a real number on a number line. Suppose we need to locate the number 2.665 on the number line. And we all know that this particular number lies between 2 and 3. To get a clear view, we can use the help of a magnifying glass. The first mark that is right next to 2 is 2.1 and the mark next to 2.1 is 2.2 and so on. And here we know that our number 2.665 lies between 2.6 and 2.7. And here we will divide this small part into 10 equal parts. Look at the closer view. Here we will use the help of a magnifying glass. Here we can also see fine lines between 2.6 and 2.7. Now we will divide the smaller part between 2.6 and 2.7 into 10 equal parts. Now the line that right next to 2.6 is 2.61 and the mark that right next to 2.61 is 2.62 and so on. And clearly we can see that the number 2.665 lies between 2.66 and 2.67. Also, we will use the magnifying lens to focus into this portion. The first mark represents 2.661 and the next line represents 2.662 and so on. Here look at the fifth mark. The fifth mark is 2.665 on this subdivisions. So, this is the required number. Similarly, we will locate one more number on the number line. Our number is 4.2626. Clearly, we know that our number lies between 4 and 5. And you observed fine lines between 4 and 5, namely 4.1, 4.2 and so on. And our number lies between 4.2 and 4.3. Now, we will focus on this portion with the help of a magnifying glass. Now, look at the portion. Here, we are going to divide this portion into 10 equal parts. That line that right next to 4.2 is 4.21 and right next to 4.21 is 4.22, etc. Now, let's have a closer view between the portion of 4.26 and 4.27. And we are going to divide the portion into 10 equal parts. And the line that right next to 4.26 is 4.261 and the line that right next to 4.261 is 4.262 and so on. And our number 4.2626 lies between 4.262 and 4.263. Now, we will focus into the part between 4.262 and 4.263. And this portion is divided into 10 equal parts. And the line that right next to 4.262 is 4.2621 and the line that right next to 4.2621 is 4.2622. Look at the sixth subdivision. This is the required number, that is 4.2626. We call this process of visualization of representation of numbers on number line through the help of a magnifying glass as the process of successive magnification. You can also locate such numbers on number line. In your earlier classes, we have learned that the rational number satisfies the commutative, associative and distributive properties on addition and multiplication. We also know that the sum, difference, product and quotient except by 0 of two rational numbers is again a rational number. That is, the collection of rational numbers is closed under addition, multiplication, division and subtraction. And in turn, we can say that the collection of irrational numbers also satisfies the properties like distributive property, associativity and commutativity. But the sum, difference, product and the quotient of two irrational numbers not always an irrational number. Let's look at some examples. We know that root 3 is an irrational number and also minus root 3 is an irrational number. What about their sum? That is root 3 plus minus root 3 will be 0, which is a rational number. That is, sum of two irrational numbers need not be a irrational number. Similarly, we can say that root 3 divided by root 3 is equal to 1 and root 3 minus root 3 is equal to 0. These two are rational numbers, not irrational numbers. And also root 3 into root 3 is equal to 3, which is not an irrational number. So, in turn, we can say that the sum, product, difference and quotient of two irrational number always not an irrational number. Now, let us look at what happens when we add or multiply a rational number by an irrational number. Suppose we know that root 3 is an irrational number and we are going to find out 2 plus root 3 and 2 root 3. That is the sum of a rational number with an irrational number and product of a rational number with an irrational number. Since we know that root 3 is an irrational number, by the property that we have discussed earlier, we know that the decimal expansion of an irrational number will be non-terminating, non-recurring. That is, root 3 has a decimal expansion which is non-terminating and non-recurring. And what will happen when we add 2 to root 3? That number 2 plus root 3 has a decimal expansion which is non-terminating and non-recurring, which implies that 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number. And similar case happens when we multiply 2 with root 3. That is, since root 3 has a decimal expansion which is non-terminating, non-recurring, 2 root 3 always have a decimal expansion which is non-terminating and non-recurring. And here we can also say that 2 root 3 is also an irrational number. Look at some examples. We need to add 2 root 2 plus 5 root 3 and root 2 minus 3 root 3. And what is the answer? We will find it out. That is, this equal to 2 root 2 plus root 2 and plus 5 root 3 minus 3 root 3. So, the answer is 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3. And clearly, this is an irrational number. And consider next question, that is 6 root 5 into 2 root 5. And this can be written as 6 into 2 into root 5 into root 5. That is, this is equal to 12 into 5, which is equal to 60. And consider another problem. Divide 8 root 15 by 2 root 3. That is 8 root 15 divided by 2 root 3. Here we can write root 15 as root 3 into root 5 divided by 2 into root 3. So, here we will cancel these two terms root 3. So, the answer is 4 root 5 and this is an irrational number. And in the previous example, this is a rational number. That is, when we add, subtract or finding product or quotients of two rational number, the answer will be either rational or irrational. We cannot say that the answer is irrational. Now, look at the definition. If a is a natural number, then root a is equal to b means that b square is equal to a and b greater than 0. That is, we have defined the square root for a natural number. And we can extend this definition to the set of positive integers. That is, if a is any positive real number, then root a is equal to b means b square is equal to a and b greater than 0. In the previous section, we have studied to locate root n where n is a natural number on number line. Here, we are going to study how to locate root n where n is a positive real number. Suppose x is a positive real number. We are going to locate root x on the number line. For this, a small construction is required. Now, draw the distance of x. I am denoting this line segment as AB. Now, I am going to extend this line one more unit. That is, consider the point D where BD is 1 unit, where the distance, this is AB, that is AB is equal to x and BD is equal to 1 unit. Now, the point O is the midpoint of the line segment AD. O is the midpoint of the line segment AD. Now, we are going to construct a semicircle with center O and radius OA. Since O is the midpoint, OA and OD are same. So, I am going to construct a semicircle like this. Now, draw a perpendicular at the point B. I am drawing like this, where the point E is a point on the circle where the perpendicular intersects the circle. B is the perpendicular at B and E is the point on the circle. Now, can you see the right angled triangle OEB? OEB triangle. Look at the triangle. Our triangle OEB is a right angled triangle. Okay. Now, since we are constructed a semicircle with center O and radius OA, we can say that the distance OA is equal to OE is equal to OD. Since the radius of a circle will be same. Radius of the circle. Now, we are going to find out the distance OB. We need to find the distance OB. Here we know that OA is equal to x plus 1 by 2. Since the length of line segment AD is x plus 1, here O is the midpoint, so the length OA is equal to x plus 1 by 2. To find OB, we need to subtract this OA from AB. That is, OB is equal to AB minus OA. That is, x minus x plus 1 by 2. So, this is equal to 2x minus x minus 1 divided by 2, which is equal to x minus 1 by 2. Since our triangle OEB is a right angled triangle, we will use to find BE using Pythagoras theorem. That is, BE is equal to OE square. BE square is equal to OE square minus OB square, which is equal to what is OE? X plus 1 by 2 the whole square minus x minus 1 by 2 the whole square. Here we need to use the expansion of a plus b the whole square, which is equal to x square plus 2x plus 1 divided by 4 minus x square minus 2x plus 1 divided by 4. So, this is equal to 4x divided by 4, which is equal to x. That is, BE is equal to root x. That is, the perpendicular at the point B. This perpendicular intersects the semicircle at the point E. The length of the line segment BE is root x. So, we can locate the root x on number line by measuring the distance on the compass and draw a circle as the center B and radius BE. So, this will intersect on the line segment here. So, the distance BF will be the length root x. Represent root 9.3 on the number line. We will work out using the proof before. That is, first of all, we need to mark 9.3. Suppose the line segment AB is of length 9.3 and we will add one more unit to it. Suppose this point is C. Now, we will find out the midpoint O here and we will construct a semicircle with center O and radius OA. Now, the perpendicular distance from A to the semicircle, consider the perpendicular like this. So, this distance, suppose this is D. Now, AD will be root 9.3. So, my drawings are not right because I am not using any compass or something like this. So, you can draw this exactly using a protractor and a compass. And now, measure the distance AD on the compass and draw a circle with center A and radius AD. Now, I am going to draw a circle and the circle will intersect the number line here, that is E. Now, the distance AE will be root 9.3 and also the AD will be root 9.3. Similarly, you can represent any square root of any real number on the number line. So, that's all about today's class. See you all in another episode. Thank you.